Alright, today I want to talk about diamonds and how they are formed according to people, and what this reveals about our Earth and what I was taught in geology versus what the Bible teaches. So, here's some information about diamonds. Most diamonds are formed at the depths of between 150 and 250 kilometers, although I believe some may form deeper within from what I was reading earlier. It is said here as deep as some have come to be formed as deep as 800 kilometers. And that would probably be closer to the lower mantle. So here's where this is what I learned in geology when I was studying. And when I was studying, I was also studying the Bible, so I had a very different viewpoint of the mantle compared to what we were taught in school. So apparently, accordingly, the mantle is filled with just lava, pure heat, and the water layer is closer towards the top, the crust, the upper mantle and lower mantle. There's no water content whatsoever, according to what I learned a couple years ago. Now, this picture is newer. When I studied geology, it was probably da, 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 six or a little over six, maybe 7 years ago. And this very interesting article came out at the time. Keep in mind, I didn't. Uh, it what the Bible said and what these pictures show, it doesn't coincided at the time. So let me read you a Bible verse real quick. It is Genesis 7:11. Noah had already built the boat to survive the flood, the coming flood, and uh, also something I want to mention. Some people say that the the animals wouldn't have been able to fit in the boat, and something that I talked about with my friend is that it makes sense that animals would have fit if they were baby animals. There would be so much more space. The food would last longer, and it would be insane. Like it's something that I didn't think about till recently. Anyways, let's see. Even even dense. No, I don't want to say that. I was thinking maybe they could even. No, that wouldn't make sense. Yeah, no babies. Two of each kind. Also, going back to kinds. Um, you don't need like one of each of every dog or one of each different horse breed. When one kind repopulates, uh, you get variations from one kind because it's all in our DNA, the code. All right, so I said Genesis 7:11. It reads, "In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month of the 17th day of the month, on that day, all the spring." This is where it gets really interesting for me. On that very day, all the springs of the vast, watery deep burst open, and the floodgates of the heavens were open. rain poured down for 40 days, 40 nights, and the water reached the toppest peaks of the mountain. All right, so that's let's see, where do I start? There's a couple things with the flood. So first things first is according to what I learned in school, the Bible is incorrect because there is no water deep within the earth. Uh, all those years that I studied. And recently, in recent times, when I started studying, I found an article. This one's a newer article stating that they found water deep within the earth and they classified it as ice 7 type water. And they found it as deep as 410 to 660 kilometers or 410 miles below the Earth's surface, which is insane because I would have never thought that water would have been that deep within the Earth, because according to what we are taught in school, it's just lava and mantle fire. But the Earth may look more so closer to this, which is more Bible accurate, according to this rare diamond found, which has a form of crystallized water embedded inside. And this isn't the article I found. I couldn't find the original one from, could be like over 8 years ago or 7 years ago that I found that article. Anyways, so diamonds for the most part are formed 200 kilometers uh, t- 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 more so 410 to 660 kilometers below their surface. So that's a very, very deep way to go for water to not be there and then form with diamonds, according to what I learned in school. But according to this rare diamond that was found, what we learned in school is wrong. So that's one part of the flood. The second part is something else I learned in geology class is was it whale bones? This is something our teacher taught us. Whale bones, sand, and seashells were found on top of the tallest mountains on the world, and that really doesn't make sense. Uh, Scientifically speaking, because mountains form over millions and millions and millions of years. And for something like whale bones, sand, or seashells to be found on top of mountains, it doesn't make sense. It's something I would like to search up right now as I talk, actually. But if what the Bible says is true, then that means that the water reached the toppest uh, heights of the mountains. Let me see if I can find that verse. 7,000 feet. 350 miles. How much water would it take to cover the earth? Jesus. This isn't what I'm looking at. I'm looking for the verse, not people's opinions. Okay, there it is. 1920. 7, 19, 20. Alright, so we got the waters overwhelmed the earth so greatly that all the tall mountains under the whole heavens were covered. The waters rose up to 15 cubits above the mountains. So basically, it covered everything. All the foreseeable land. It covered everything, and to me, it makes sense that that there would be a bunch of sediment and debris, animals, uh, and stuff all over the earth, and it would make sense that the mountains would be one of the first beaches as the water started to subside. So that's probably one of the reasons why they found whale bones, seashells, and sand on top of the mountains. That was according to my geology professor. Something else that I want to mention, that was point 2. Point 1 was the rare diamonds proving that there is water deep within the earth. Point 2 was ocean items, or items found near the ocean were found on top of mountains, the tallest mountains in the world. Point 3. Let's see if I could remember it real quick. Okay. So there's this scientific theory that an ice age occurred, and that happened, I don't know, millions and millions and millions of years ago, and the meteorite that killed the dinosaurs blocked out the sun and caused an ice age. That is the theory of how dinosaurs went extinct. So actually there's 2 points here to be made. So I'm gonna get the easiest one out of the way. And that is dinosaurs have been found with living tissue, and they have been dead for, I don't know, the scientists say millions and millions and millions of years. Whatever they say, whatever number they say. According to the Bible, it's closer to I would say probably if dinosaurs were killed during the flood. It makes more sense, yeah, than any other time. That's when they were killed. The flood killed the dinosaurs, meaning the Bible says dinosaurs were killed a mere, that would be close to 5,000, 6,000 years ago, which is not a long time in human history. And compared to what scientists say, that is astronomically low. So the Bible is pretty much saying some crazy what's the word I'm looking for? It's giving us some pretty, according to science, unbelievable information. Well, let's try to debunk that. There has been a video from Genesis Apologetics. That video is very awesome because it kind of gives us a glimpse onto how the flood could have killed the dinosaurs, how it shaped mountains, how sediments were laid upon each other, in successions because of flood waters. So instead of millions of years for like something like the Great Canyon, for mountains, uh, for fissures, or what's the word I'm looking for? I forgot the name of the word. They're not fissures, are they? Ridges, mid-ocean Atlantic ridges. For for ridges, all the movement of plate tectonics. According to science, it happened over millions and millions and millions of years, whereas something like the flood would suggest it happened immediately in like days. And watching that video just shows so much information, and something that it just puts more like things that I came up with in my head when I was taking geology. It just like I have pieces of the puzzle. For example, one thing I suggested to my friend years ago was that s- since there was evidence of an ice age, I'm gonna go ahead and say there was a form of an ice age. So if we go back to the Bible verse, all right, in 7:11, towards the second part, on that day, all the springs of the vast watery deep burst open, and the floodgates of the heaven were open. In other words, there was a ton of activity in the planet, and that means volcano eruptions, plate tectonic movements. According to the Bible, maybe that's where the mid Atlantic oceanic rifts uh, started making their movement more. Or no, actually, they said that each movement of the rift has its time sequence. But they are, I believe they said it's kind of bizarre how it happened. Anyways, what I wanted to mention is, imagine every volcano in the world going off at the same time. Water just pouring, just breaking out of the earth uh, inner crust and just starting to flood everything. Rain falling, and all this debris from the volcanoes blocking out the sun in and then causing an ice age. No sun means colder weather. Colder weather means ice age. So the ice age, according to the Bible, probably happened in a matter of 40 days and 40 nights. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights, so the ice age probably happened uh, at day 20 or something. I don't know. It is insane to think about, like, depending on how much of the earth the volcanoes covered, it could have really made the planet cold. So that's point 2. Sorry, point 3. Point 3.2, which is part of what I'm saying right now, is the dinosaurs. So again, scientists say that a meteorite killed the dinosaurs, um, whereas we see that they still have flesh, like they died not so long ago, probably, I don't know, oh, I don't know, 5,000 years ago or something. But according to scientists, they died millions and millions of years ago, according to geo- geological dating, half lives of radiation. And they found a spark plug that was also millions and millions of years ago, old. And they also found an eruption, which they know when it happened. They dated that eruption as happening a long time ago, which it doesn't make sense. In other words, what I'm trying to say is half-lives probably cannot be trusted. That would need more research on its own. Okay, so back to dinosaurs and a meteorite or asteroid. Sorry. Um, so this big rock supposedly comes down from Earth, from space, and manages to wipe out dinosaurs. Like that video, which I would recommend watching it from Genesis Apologetics. It states uh, the bigger likelihood is that dinosaurs ran away and converged to positions where water uh, wasn't, I don't know, at their at their knees, and it wasn't like trying to drown them. So the preservation instincts of the the older dinosaurs was to run away, and everywhere where they search for bones, they find adult dinosaurs, and all the baby dinosaurs couldn't keep up with the raging stampede of animals rushing to higher ground. And this is a very bold claim, one that the Bible would definitely make sense with. So, if we look at how they died, we could see that some dinosaurs died like they were arching backwards, their necks arching backwards, like if they suffocated to death. Kind of like with water, in other words. So that is a very interesting point. I don't know if that was part of my points back in the day, or Genesis Apologetics that I confused with my points. Da, 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 da. Alright, let's see. That was 3. And we talked about the Ice Age, the way the dinosaurs died, which is more akin to drowning. Uh, Talked about the rare diamond, which proves that there is water deep within the earth. And I forgot the second point. Trying to remember if there was anything else regarding this topic, regarding the flood. Other than that, I want to say at the scientific, no, at the craftsmanship, or no, at the marvel that was the ark, how it was built. Uh, Shipbuilders today have recreated it and found its seaworthy vessel compared to what we have today by today's standards, close to it. Let's see. Oh, and I discussed my second point was items, sea items found on top of the mountains of the tallest peaks. Let's see, let's see. I'm trying to recall if there was other points I remember here. for now, that is it on the NOAA scientific anomaly.